Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Relationship Talks with Adeze Adana. I hope that you have been enjoying all my videos. If you have been enjoying the videos and you are yet to subscribe, can I please ask you to click the subscribe button? All right, I am always super excited every time I see a new subscriber on my channel. It just simply means that, someone is appreciating the videos and someone is loving the little content I try to share. All right. So today we'll just be talking about 5 signs to know, or 5 ways to know that you are in a healthy relationship, or 5 signs of a healthy relationship. Okay. Now, a healthy relationship is actually what is meant to be the goal of anyone going into a relationship. You want to have a healthy relationship with your spouse, with your husband, with your wife, with your partner. The goal is to have a relationship where you can thrive. And when we say healthy, it means that it's you are actually thriving in that relationship. You're thriving physically, you're thriving spiritually, you're thriving mentally in that relationship. And that is the goal of any relationship. No one wants to be in an unhealthy relationship. So, how do you know that you are in a healthy relationship? I'm going to list 5 ways to know, or 5 signs to know that your relationship is healthy or you are in a healthy relationship. Number one, safety. You feel safe with your partner. You don't feel fear when you're with your partner. If you're in a relationship and you feel fear for your partner instead of love and respect, that relationship is not a healthy relationship. And you really should think about it. What you should feel for your partner is not fear, because fear does not show that you feel safe. But respect shows that, I feel safe here and I respect, the atmosphere or the person creating this safety for me. So if you are in a relationship and you're always afraid of your partner, afraid of what they will say the next minute, or afraid of what they will do to you the next minute, afraid that if you have a misunderstanding with them, it might lead to 3 months of malice, or they might actually threaten you, or they might harm you, or you feel like, you don't want to do anything to offend this person because you don't want to walk on eggshells in that particular situation, or in that home, or in that relationship. Your marriage or your relationship is not healthy. A healthy relationship is one where you feel safe to communicate with your partner. You feel safe to tell your partner what you want to tell your partner. But always remember that we always say, speak in a respectful manner, speak in a respectful tone. Don't speak in a tone that is condescending. Don't speak in a tone that is disrespectful. You want to be able to express your mind to this person or to your partner without feeling, fear, without feeling that, if you express yourself to them, that they will shut you out, or they will end the relationship, or they will, just do something that you feel like you would not be happy with them doing it. So if you feel that way in your relationship, if you feel fear instead of safety, you're not in a healthy relationship. The number one sign to know that you are in a healthy relationship is that you feel safe. You feel that I can tell my husband, what's bothering my mind. I can tell him something he's done that I'm not happy about, and he's gonna listen to me. He's not gonna insult me. He's not gonna fight me. He's not gonna condemn me. He's not gonna keep malice with me. He's not gonna shut me out. He's gonna listen to me and we'll be able to resolve it. Or you are in a marriage or you're in a relationship and you feel like I can talk to my wife and she's not going to say, I'm a nag. She's not going to judge me. She's not going to be disrespectful to me for being open to her. She's going to listen to me. She's going to understand me. She's actually going to take her time to understand, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and we'll be able to resolve it. So if you're a man and you also don't feel safe talking to your spouse, or talking to your wife to be, or talking to your wife, you feel like every time you tell her something, you're so scared, you're so terrified to talk to her, there is already a problem in that relationship. You are not in a healthy relationship, sir. And if you are a woman, you are always scared to talk to your husband, you cannot express yourself without fear, of being shut out, without fear of, oh, he's not going to talk to me for like the next 2 weeks. Or even as a man, you're scared that if you tell your wife how you feel about her, she's not going to talk to you for like the whole month. She will not cook in the house, everywhere will be all upside down. She will not forgive. If you don't, that is not a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship is where you're supposed to feel safe expressing yourself. Number two sign to know that you are in a healthy relationship is that you are able to communicate. See, communication is so key in any relationship. A relationship where you do not have effective communication is a relationship that can never thrive. The Bible says that two cannot work together except they agree. How can you agree when you cannot communicate effectively? So if you're in a relationship with somebody that you cannot be heard, or you feel like you can't talk to this person, there is already a problem. Communication is also not a one-way thing. You cannot say you're in a communication with your partner and you're the one always talking all the time. Everything starts with you and ends with you. That's not a communication. That's you being domineering. Be you a man, be you a woman. There are a lot of women that are also domineering. It has to be their way. They don't want the man to talk or give any idea. If it's not their own idea as a woman, there's problem in the house. There'll be no peace in that house. No, you cannot communicate like that. If that is happening in your relationship or in your marriage, or in a very unhealthy relationship or a very unhealthy marriage, and you need to work on that, or you need to take a decision. If you're not yet married to that person, ask yourself, do you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody that you cannot communicate with, somebody that will not let you talk, somebody that will not let you express your mind? If you're a man, you don't want to marry a woman that will not let you express how you feel. You don't want to marry a woman that will not see reason with you on anything whatsoever at all. There should be an ability for both partners to be able to say, okay, we have this thing to iron out. And remember that a lot of people try to avoid communication because they want to avoid conflict. You can't be in a relationship and there will be no conflict. It's not possible. You people are two people coming from different backgrounds, different homes, so there is just no way both of you will not have conflict. You cannot take conflict out of a relationship. It's now your ability to handle conflicts. That's actually what matters. That's what you're supposed to train yourselves on as a couple. How do we handle conflicts? When they rear their heads in our relationship, when they rear their heads in our marriage, how do we handle conflict? And that comes from communicating. When you tell this person, this is how I feel, you to listen to your partner. Try to understand where your partner is coming from. Don't just always be the one to speak. You want to be heard, you want to be understood, but you don't want to understand other people. No. Even if you feel like you're more intelligent than your partner, or your partner is too slow, you need to understand something. You brought yourself to be with that person. If you have decided to spend the rest of your life with this person, you have to at least do what the person might not be there, but by your guidance, okay, your understanding, that person will now come to your own level. But until that happens, you have to keep working at it. Okay, that's why communication exists. So you let the person know, okay, this is how I feel, and how do we resolve this? You are not running a one-man show in a relationship. A healthy relationship is one that has a two-way communication, not one that is just one person calling the shots, making all the decisions. That's not a healthy relationship. That's the relationship of a king and a slave, or a queen and a slave. It is not a relationship. It is not a marriage. A marriage, and a healthy marriage or a healthy relationship, do not forget, is one that has effective communication. Don't run away from conflicts. Learn to handle conflicts effectively. Number 3, accountability. How you know that you are in a healthy relationship. Both of you are accountable to each other for your actions. When something happens, don't start throwing blame games. If you're in a healthy relationship, that both partners don't start to throw blame games on each other. You know, oh, it was you. If you didn't do this, I would not have reacted like that. No, you need to learn to take responsibility for your own shortcomings in a relationship, in marriage. When things go wrong, be accountable for your actions, good or bad. Be accountable for them. Don't be quick to say it was because of you I reacted like this. It's because you did this, I did this. No, you did it because you wanted to do it. If somebody does something to you that you don't like, you communicate with them and say, listen, I don't like the way you're doing this. Can you please not do this? Okay, because if you do this, then I'm not going to respond to you, or I'm not going to talk about it, you know. If you don't communicate, or you don't let this person know exactly how you feel, and you go ahead and take a decision because you feel like, oh, this person did something to you, without saying anything to that person, you go ahead, retaliate, or do some inhumane things to that person, or start to do what we call silent treatment. You start giving that person a silent treatment. You start doing all of these things, and when the person starts talking, so, oh, it's because you did this that I did this. No, and you never told the person. So you need to learn to be accountable for your own actions. When you do something, you did it because that's how you felt like dealing with the situation, not because your partner made you do it. It's a different ballgame entirely if you've talked through with your partner for second, third, fourth, fifth time, and they're still not, trying to work with you on it, and then you decide to take an alternative route. That's totally different, because really that person pushed you to that point. But not when something happens, you're quick to just throw blames, even if it's happening for the first time, or things just happen generally in the house, you're just quick to push the blame. You don't want to be accountable for anything. You don't want to be accountable for your actions in a relationship. You don't want to be you don't want to be held accountable for anything. You want to run a one-man show. It's not possible. It's not a healthy relationship. Be you a man, be you a woman, you have to learn to be accountable for your actions and be accountable to each other. Now it's a partnership. It's actually teamwork. It's no longer about you. There is somebody else in your life, and that person will hold you accountable for certain things that you do. You have to hold yourself to accountable for certain things that you do. You are first accountable to yourselves for your actions, and then accountable to each other with the way you handle issues in the relationship. Okay, so we talked about compromise, we talked about safety, we talked about communication, we talked about accountability. Now we're going to talk about compromise. Signs of a healthy relationship: you're able to compromise. You will have to do a lot of compromising in relationships. You have to compromise on a lot of things. You grew up a certain way, your wife grew up a certain way, or your husband grew up a certain way. Now when two of you come together, you're going to be blending in your differences, and that's what makes you people unique. If you are a man and you're just married to a zombie, I don't know who actually would love to be married to a zombie. Or you're a woman and you're married to a toy, but a man who cannot stand up for himself, a man who lazes around the house. Nobody wants to do that. So our differences make us unique. So you don't want to start looking at your spouse's gentility sometimes as foolishness, or you don't want to look at your spouse's being a macho man, a man, and you see it as meanness. No, you have to be able to separate the person from their character. Most times, no, not separate the person from their character, because a person is actually defined by their character. You're able to at least separate whatever issue you people are dealing with at that time from, okay, this person is a quiet person, and then based on it, you just generally, there are people like that because somebody is quiet, you just feel like, okay, this person is a zombie. No, that they are quiet does not mean that they are zombies. Actually, sometimes when you see those quiet people, they are trying their best to compromise and, just say, okay, I might be quiet, but I just want to hear you. Not like I'm just quiet all the time. Sometimes when I'm quiet, it's because I want to hear you. I'm compromising with that part of me at that time, not because I can't talk, okay, but because I want to hear you. So if you're in a relationship, you actually want to be able to bend for each other. That's the point I'm actually basically trying to make, bend for each other. Don't be so hard on on or rigid on this is it has to be my way or no way. No, that then you're not in a healthy relationship. That relationship cannot thrive. Any relationship where one person wants it their way all the time, you don't want to bend, you don't want to be flexible, it's not a relationship. Any relationship where, oh, you know me, I'm always very quiet, I don't contribute to nothing, I don't say nothing. Even if your husband should ask you, okay, what do you think about this? Nothing. You are not even making any effort to at least contribute ideas. Do something to show that, you are together with him. You're working towards a common goal. You're not being flexible at all. If you're not willing to be flexible, then you're not going to be willing to compromise. When we say compromise, it's just trying to be flexible to accommodate each other. All right, so if you are not flexible enough, then you are not in a healthy relationship, because you will not be willing to compromise on anything. And any marriage that says it must be my way or nobody's way is not a marriage that is healthy. It's not a relationship that is healthy. And the last one I would like to talk about today is your ability to share emotional intimacy. That is so key to the growth of any relationship. Any healthy relationship must have a healthy emotional life going on. And when we say emotional intimacy, it means you being able to bear yourself, be vulnerable to your partner with certain parts of you that you might not be vulnerable to others with. So if you feel that this man that I am with, I cannot be emotionally vulnerable to him, it's not a healthy relationship. If you're a man and you feel like I can be emotionally vulnerable to this woman because I feel she will treat me a certain way, or she'll start to look down on me, or she will judge me, or she will treat me a kind of way, if you can't be emotionally vulnerable to her, you're not in a healthy relationship. You might be in a relationship for reasons best known to you with that person, but your relationship with that person is not healthy. And you can make your research on that. If you're in a relationship with someone and you cannot be emotionally vulnerable to that person, you can really express your deepest emotions to that person without fear of being judged, without fear of being condemned, without fear of threats, you're not in a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship is one where you're able to bear yourself, you're emotionally vulnerable to your husband, to your wife, or to your partner, and both of you are able to express the deepest parts of you without fear of being condemned, without fear of being judged. And we talked about safety. So you see how both of these points, they all link to themselves. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, do not forget to click the subscribe button. Do not forget to click the like button, and do not forget to click the share button. Till I see you all in my next video, I pray that you all have the strength and the mind to build a healthy relationship, because when you have a healthy relationship, you yourself will have a healthy life. When you have a relationship or a marriage that is unhealthy, you cannot be healthy. It's not possible. You cannot be healthy in an unhealthy environment and still remain healthy. So I pray that you're able to make the right decision for your relationship and for your marriage. God bless you all, and stay beautiful.